Nearly 3 days before the wedding, his wealthy parents aggressively pushed a prenup at my face, smirking as though victory was theirs. Imagine this. 3 days before your wedding, the day you're supposed to be floating on air, your fiancé's wealthy parents ambush you with a prenuptial agreement. Not just any prenup, but an ultimatum. Sign it, or the wedding is off. They thought they had me cornered, a modest teacher's daughter with nowhere to go. Oh, how wrong they were. Because what they didn't know was that behind my quiet facade, I was sitting on a $9 million tech empire, and their smug faces were about to learn a very, very expensive lesson about underestimating someone. My name is Sophia Williams, and I was 28 years old, head over heels in love with Ethan Blackwood. Everything felt perfect, like a dream I'd worked my whole life for. But that dream quickly turned into a nightmare when his family decided to play a twisted game of power. I grew up in a comfortable, middle-class neighborhood in Chicago. My parents were high school teachers, and they taught me the real value of education and hard work. Wealth wasn't something we had, but we had something far more precious: values. Every single penny of my college tuition at Northwestern came from scholarships I clawed my way to with countless all-nighters and perfect grades. I graduated with honors in computer science, and I dove headfirst into the tech world, hungry to build something of my own, on my own terms. My biggest cheerleader was my grandfather. When he passed away during my senior year, he left me an unexpected inheritance. He'd lived a modest life, but his quiet wisdom had translated into decades of smart investments, leaving me with a staggering $7 million. I invested most of it, using just a small portion to fund my tech startup, focusing on educational software. By 26, my company's valuation had added another $2 million to my net worth. So yeah, I was a multimillionaire, but you'd never know it by looking at me. I lived in a nice but unassuming apartment, drove a practical car, and dressed well, but never extravagantly. My wealth was my private business, known only to my parents, my best friend Jenna, and my financial advisors. I wanted to succeed or fail based on my own merit, not on the size of my bank account. I met Ethan at a charity gala, one of those fancy Chicago events benefiting educational programs for underprivileged kids. My company had donated software, and I was there representing our contribution. Ethan was there because, well, the Blackwoods always made appearances at important social functions. He stood out immediately, not just because of his tall frame and warm brown eyes, but because unlike the other trust fund attendees, he was genuinely engaged with the cause. Our conversation that night flowed effortlessly, from education inequality to our favorite hiking trails, to our shared love of spicy Thai food. When he asked for my number, I gave it without hesitation, even though I knew exactly who his family was. The Blackwoods were Chicago old money, with a lineage tracing back to... Full story video added in below,